Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am PANCZASU and welcome back to my Riftborn playthrough / tutorial. You may have noticed by now that my introductions are a little bit less extreme and filled with hype as they were in the past series. The reason for that is pretty simple. I'm just testing the waters, seeing if perhaps the audience retention is a little bit smaller if I am not completely ridiculous during the very first seconds of the video. Now, I know that a lot of people liked my old crazy introductions because, well, they're very recognizable at the very least. But I know some people just were kind of scared away by them, so I'm testing the waters, seeing how, generally speaking, people react to a little bit more mellowed out introduction, which nevertheless is my classic style introduction, just with a little bit less crazy in it. We'll see how it goes, shall we? Now, as for the game itself, I renamed one of my systems because I realized it basically was named playtest, it just needed an extra J or I don't remember, and a T, and there was playtest, so that's gonna be easier to remember. Nair can stay Nair, I don't really care. Nair, there's Altair over there, everything is fancy jolly. Now, let us deal with the essentials. Firstly, you can notice that our systems are no longer receiving the boost from those systems standing in the colony, and this guy still needs 11 turns. I'm obviously going to try to speed up this process, because I need this colony to be operational, but nevertheless, right now there is no need for the new colony law to be in there at all. In fact, what law I'm going to go for instead is, because I just received a new population of Epistes, like I think last 10 or maybe 2 turns ago, judging by this thing, probably last 10. So, it's going to take some time. Now, of course, next time I'm going to colonize a toxic planet, which will allow the Epistes to actually grow much faster than before, which is quite meaningful, mind you. But not this turn. So for 110, which is still going to be useful, I can enact the species stability law, which will block the Epistes growth, but I don't care about it for 110. But for 110, it's going to give me a decent amount of extra dust, like I think 40 or 30 dust? 30 dust, that's not a lot, but it's still extra 30 dust, I'm not going to say no to that. Additionally, I'm going to enact that's the Minimizers Act, which is going to drain my influence quite considerably, but only for 1 turn because I'm about to cancel species stability next turn, which is going to be important. I will of course need to work on influence gain, but for now, the way things are is just fine. So anyway, new luxury resource scout, we don't care about that. Tail of let's have a quick look-see at what it has. Now, I already know I kind of want to colonize the system. Like, it's pretty good. And also deserts have a very good population size, maximum available population size, to industry production ratio, especially since they are still considered sterile planets. And there are improvements that can increase the amount of pops you can have on sterile planets. And overall, they're just kind of more... I'm mixing the patterns. I think they're the same level of efficiency as ash planets, or maybe slightly more efficient, but they also give you more other stuff than just industry production, which is nice. I just really like desert planets in general. I might be mixing the patches up because I'm also playtesting a new patch as well. Regardless, deserts are awesome, and I really like them for my industry production needs. So you just said, dear Shadow, where do you want to go? Nobody knows, but I think I'm gonna send him that away and just see what I can find. Now meanwhile, unless he... oh, no wait, he found something already. Temos is the next system. It has a desert, again lovely, a toxic planet, and a Mediterranean with some titanium on it. I'm not too keen about the Mediterranean part, but we'll talk about it in a moment. And this titanium resource, it's average, isn't it? So that's something, I suppose, but then again, Gemini also has it, and it has Hyperium, all of them on a Terran planet. But let's have a quick look at research, because we have to deal with that anyway. So, first and foremost, at some point, do I want to grab the Terran planet over there? Yes, because it has loads of resources on it. And the Terran planet colonization technology also gives us access to other fun stuff like AI labor, which is amazing, which I want. Especially considering how many desert planets are around, which are going to benefit from, you know, AI labor quite nicely, in fact. So certainly, yes, I will want to grab this technology nevertheless. So colonizing Terran, again, is something that will most likely be on the menu. But when it comes to Mediterranean colonization, it's actually not too bad itself, because it has magnetic field generators. Now, I don't have that many anomalies in my empire, I don't think. I could check again. But nevertheless, pure scale accelerator is always nice to have, because the extra bit of science it gives you is very much welcome, especially in later game, it's surprisingly useful. But it's not a later game and I don't need it right now. What do I need right now? What can give me a benefit? Because we have to choose some kind of technology to research. And if you have noticed already, all of our production queues are kind of, filled up with things that I really need to work on. So I cannot research, there's no reason for me to research something that I need to create, some kind of planetary improvement, because that would just land at the bottom of my production queue and just sit there and wait. I want something that has short-term impact empire-wide and potential long-term impact systems-wide. And I know just the thing for that, that's galactic commodities, because short-term impact, it unlocks G-Goods exchange. No, it most likely won't actually be useful for us, to be entirely honest. It might, if I for some reason need to sell off some Hyperium or Titanium, or buy some Hyperium or Titanium for that matter, or maybe, do I have any luxuries to actually... No, I don't really have luxuries. I can sell some Jade Onyx. Do I have any source of it? Not right now, doesn't look like. Also, oh hi there, enemy AI. That's good to know. That's I think the Horatio color. So that's something. That's a very good reason to carry up with colonization of Altair, because endless AIs have this nasty tendency of colonizing things extremely quickly, like within at most 4 turns, but sometimes even within just 1 turn of settling it down. So I need to make sure that this thing is going on smoothly. I'll probably spend some titanium on it, but titanium is a bit more important for me, and I think I'll have more Hyperium souls, yeah, than titanium. So again, Galactic Commodities Exchange is actually not bad, because I could buy a little bit of extra Hyperium and use it in Altair. That's already an option for it to be used, and I already like that option. So you can see the short-term benefit. Long-term benefit is kind of self-explanatory. Miners Union, very useful upgrade for the Riftborn, and any faction in fact. It's just a flat-out amazing thing to have. It's cheap, and on poor deposits it doubles your strategic resource generation. Very useful. Not always necessary, but I do often grab it myself. Now, I'm not gonna go for anything military related. We still have ways to go before Horatio do anything, shifty. And even then, I don't want to support the militarist faction, for the very simple reason that, well, militarist faction, I don't want them in the government. It's going to be very hard to keep them out of government, because even if you make a small fleet, and I have a tendency of making big fleets rather than small fleets, militarists will want in to the government. I don't want them to have any foothold before it's absolutely necessary, and before that happens, I hope I'll be able to force the Religious Party to stay in the government forever. And I have some plans for doing just that, but this time, not much really happened. I think we can just safely skip everything. Oh, I could start thinking about colonizing Tailify. The reason for that is, well, Tailify is amazing. Do I have anything that I immediately need to do over here? Well, actually I do have something, because I need to sell that in my population and also deal with the laws. So swap on the laws, we don't need species stability anymore. We're still in an influence deficit, which isn't great. So I'm not gonna enact in either of these things, although New Colony would be not bad, but I might want to save some influence instead, we'll see about that. It is a very good benefit though. And I don't want to go for either of these two other options. So Minimizers Act will just work for us alone for the time being, and I'll have to figure out some way to increase the influence again, which I can do via the Spin project, and I would love to do just that, maybe after I get another machine embodiment in, however, because it's kind of important. I also kind of wanted to colonize this ice planet as soon as possible to increase the benefits I can get from it. Yeah, that would be nice. In fact, I might want to hurry it up as much as possible. So a quick look, see, I can get a sprint product in 110. I kind of want to do that actually, because I will need the extra influence in order to interact with the Planarians. Wow, no. Planarians are my custom faction. Pilgrims is what I meant to say, because I do want them to be my friends and supply me with loads of bonuses. Fighters is kind of busy right now as well. Alright, nothing else to do but drink tea for now, I suppose. Also, don't worry about the score, because I needed a tree. Tea, I meant to say. Don't worry about the score, by the way. The score isn't really indicative of anything until maybe late game, because endless AIs have such a humongous boost in early game that there's basically almost no way for you to match them in points within the first few turns, unless you use some very specialized and specific strategies, which right now I'm not using. Like I said before, currently in this playthrough my strategy for the Riftborn is to play them in a way that makes them most deadliest in middle game and late game, but not end the game. I want to win this game by late game, if at all possible, so that's what I'm going to try and achieve, which means that in early game I'm not necessarily all that powerful. Alrighty then, let's go ahead and try to... which one? I mean, this guy already has an anomalies, a positive anomaly, so let's see if there's another awesome thing in there. And not really, psychoactive air, extra experience on ships, and dust from dust is dust. I seem to be getting this quest fairly early on in literally every endless space 2 playthrough ever. I mean, alright, well I guess there is that. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of this quest either, because sometimes it's a bit annoying to deal with this fleet when for instance you just want your ships to move around. I'm going to send this shadow all the way to Muses now, because I want to explore some curiosities over there and make the pilgrims like me more. That would be nice, I want that to happen. Now, as for the research, what is the next thing that I want? I could grab multi-thread management, the accelerated production might prove to be useful, so let's go ahead and grab just that. And in regards to Altair, I think I am going to buy just one bit. Oh wow, there is even Orichalcix on the marketplace, that's rare. I mean, it does happen, but it's not very frequent that it happens. Either way, one unit of Hyperium is kind of expensive, but I can afford it sadly, so I'm just gonna buy one and it's going to be good enough. Because I don't want to spend titanium on my increase of speed at colonization efforts, for the very simple reason that, well, titanium is also used for our singularities. I mean, Hyperion is also used for a singularity, but right now we care about compression singularity, and I am trying to save up for it. It's more important to colonize, in my honest opinion, than save up for singularity, especially in a situation where Horatio might try to make an incursion on Altair, which would be bad. But for the time being, well, as long as I can use Hyperium, I'm going to try and use that. And drink some more tea. I don't know what I would do without tea. I'm addicted to tea, I have to be entirely honest with you. You probably know this very well by now. I mean, I drink tea almost every video I record, and it's just so good. Like, really, some people do drugs. I really hope you don't do drugs yourself, and that if you do, then well, I wish you luck in trying to not do drugs. And yeah, I do tea. Tea is my thing. It's very nice. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I just really like tea. And I'm completely addicted as well. Anywho, I still have no loss to deal with, but I am thinking about changing the build order on Vanguard. Sure, machine embodiment is cool, but I kind of really want to expand by now. Like, really badly. So, let's go ahead and change the Geist system and downgrade it, for the very simple reason that I don't have multi-thread management right now, so I cannot buy it out. So what I'm going to do is make it super cheap and then retrofit it so that it actually can move fast enough. In fact, can I put it on playtest? Would that make any sense? It'll take 2 turns, but playtest needs to expand to the Ash Planet really badly, so no, I'm going to make it on Vanguard after the machine embodiment is done, I think. And then power partnerships, maybe? No, I'll do this after I colonize the Ash Planet, I think. Especially since it's not going to be very useful on Nair as a system. It's still going to give me some extra science, but just not that much. Alright, for some reason I feel a little bit... I don't know how to describe it. There's a little bit not enough air, and hello, what are you going to do? That's a revealer, and he's actually exploring curiosities, the bastard. Actually, that might be good for us. So we know we have Jade Onyx in that system, alright. What else do we have? Okay, yeah, show us to it. Yeah, that's Dark Glitter. That's good to know. And we know that this is 7 is pretty good. And they left. Well, they're probably gonna be chased off by the Prowlers. I'm okay with that. They already set up their colony over there, which is hardly surprising. And my colony is going to be done in 1 turn. That's good. Nothing going to interrupt it. In fact, I am going to enact the new colony law, because it does give me a very good benefit, and right now I don't have the religious party in the lead. I mean, I do, but I don't have their super awesome law enacted yet. I might even cancel the Minimizers Act for a few turns. This lets me not only gain some extra influence, which might be important when dealing with pilgrims, but additionally it lets me enact the new colony law and just generally save influence, which is what I'm mostly about. And I do already have a decent amount of titanium and hyperium because of just a few turns of having this law active, so that's good. In fact, I can go ahead and activate the compression singularity, which I will and definitely do, even though it delays my colonization effort by 1/10. That's fine. I want Nair to grow a little bit faster, and I can do it via the use of singularities. In fact, you do, sir. I want him to go to the pilgrim system, but he might be intercepted and killed off, so let's have him move to Phaetas first to explore some curiosities first. Alrighty then. So it's going to be titanium sped on that thing, and after you're done with that, you know what? How many improvements do we have? We have only a few. Never mind. Still ways off of reaching the 11 system improvement cap, so we have ways to go on that front. And in fact, I want miners you need more than one public private partnerships. Like, I really want the science, but it's not even that great science anyway. I mean, sure, there is one type red planet. Nah, that is a really decent amount of science. But I really want the resources more so than I want science, I think. I really do. I want to start stockpiling on them really badly, for the very simple reason that not only are they useful for a variety of system improvements that I am planning to research later on in the game, but additionally, don't worry about that. But additionally, that titanium and hyperium, guess what they're used for? The main key cornerstone of my military. The, the triangular class ships and the tetrahedral class ships. I'm pretty much only going to be using those two ships in combination with one another, because the triangular class ships, they are the very definition of glass cannon. I think I mentioned this in my part 1, in fact. They deal enormous amounts of damage, but they only have one support slot by default, which means they cannot really get anywhere on their own, especially since Riftborn are slow travelers. That's why you need a tetrahedral class to support them, to give them extra movement. And because of how much Riftborn tend to earn in terms of titanium and hyperium, I just tend to rely on those two classes rather than relying on the small ships and the carriers. I like this combination a lot. For most factions, I do small ships plus carriers. For Riftborn, I do medium ships all the way across the sky. That's basically the thing that I do. Alright, our colony ship is ready. Let's go ahead and retrofit it and upgrade it again, so that it moves a little bit faster. Now, I wish that there was just a small number displayed next to every single warp travel location that would tell you how long each line is. I mean, of course, sure, I can just hover it over like so, and then count all the little dots. In this case, it's easy because the ship right now only has 2 movements, but nevertheless, quality of life improvement, I've been suggesting to implement it for some time, and sadly, I think people keep forgetting about it. Oh well. Just me, I suppose. Anyway, I am going to retrofit this guy because 2 movement is not quite good enough, and 11 is much better. I could have probably spent some less dust on retrofitting it, but again, I didn't feel like doing the math and seeing exactly how much movement this guy needs, because I'm a lazy bastard. Alrighty then, singularity is ready. Was it ready last turn? It was, wasn't it? I just wasted my... No, I think it was really distant, so it's fine. Never mind. So, what is a singularity? Singularity just gives you a flat-out benefit bonus to everything. Extra experience, which is nice, and extra dust feeds regeneration in general, which I'm certainly going to use on my home system, because not only does it increase all of the things that I gain on the system, and also it's non-ecstatic because of the colony, which is even better because now all of my bonuses stack together. But additionally, this singularity is also going to let this guy earn more experience from everything, which is lovely. Now this should make things nice and quick. Right now it isn't. I'm a little bit disappointed, I have to say, but I do hope it's going to speed things up a little bit, especially once I do have this episode and I colonize this ice planet. It should be much better. Alrighty then, Altair is already over-colonized. I mean, to be entirely honest, I don't think that any planets should always be overpopulated when they only have 1 unit of population available. That's kind of stupid, but anyway, that's just me, I suppose. Let's go ahead and... oh yeah, I don't have Savannah colonization yet. I do want it though, because there are good Savannas around that I have seen. Besides, Advanced Scanner is not bad, and Warp Drive also not bad. Where was the other Savannah I saw? Oh, that's right, on Telfa. In fact, I might want to... No, I don't want to colonize it first. I will colonize it later. So I don't need to... I do want this technology right now, actually. Because I do want to start colonizing the savannah on Altair. For the time being, however, I'm just going to work on drone networks and the Xeno-industrial infrastructure. And also speed them up, at least somewhat. Because it's rather important. Alright, some dust is saved up. That's good. Do I really need baryonic shielding right now? Or should I wait? Looking at everything, I think I can safely wait. I can start gunning for the Terran colonization, but it's 7 turns. That's way too long. I'm not going to wait for this colony ship anyway. So that's fine. Let's just go ahead and end the turn now, I suppose. And drink some more tea. I actually have all of a sudden a very nasty headache. I'm not entirely sure why. It's really annoying. I didn't have it when I started this video. I don't know why it happens. I hope it goes away soon, because it's really hard to concentrate. Thankfully, I am an expert when it comes to pretending that I'm fine when I'm not. Because my life is a misery. No, I don't think it's that bad. But either way, I should be able to be just as chipper as I always am, even though I am actually in pain right now, which is not fun. I hate headaches. Like, literally, headaches are awful. There's nothing fun about them whatsoever. Anyways, let's go ahead and explore some curiosities. Mediterranean monsoon. I don't like... Oh wow, antimatter, that's nice. I'm happy about that, but those two... Maybe I'll grab Mediterranean at some point. Monsoon is very unlikely, and those things probably don't even have anything... This plant probably doesn't even have anything interesting on it. And it's a tiny plant as well. Nah. Mediterranean, maybe. I will discover this curiosity just because I'm curious about what is on it, and that's more prestigious trees. I have a feeling my first level system improvement will be made out of prestigious trees, because I seem to be having a lot of sources from which I can gain an increase of this specific resource. Alrighty then, what do I want next on this planet? More industry production most likely, and followed up with machine embodiment. The other way around, however, that's going to be more optimal, I believe. And also, actually, hold on a second, I need spin product. Why do I need spin product? Because I need to support the atheists? No, not that. Religious party. Because elections are coming. And I'm totally willing... Am I willing to spend... Yes, I am willing to spend this amount of dust on it, because I should maybe have enough to influence the elections by the time they happen. I'll think about it. I might sell something on the marketplace to ensure that I have enough dust to influence the elections. We'll see, we'll see. As for you, you're doing just fine. Maybe I can give you spin project just in time. Maybe. I think I didn't need to do. It's just one vote. It's certainly going to go to industrialists anyway, no matter what I do. So the spin project is really not something I should go for, actually. New research again to be researched, so that's something to keep in mind. I think I'll lay low with the science quadrant for a while, at least. I don't necessarily have anything I need from that. So let's think about other things. What do I have? I can have access to neurorobotics, which is nice, but that's something I really care about right now. Maximum exploitation, going to be useful at some point, I suppose. What else do we have? Hyper PACs is not necessarily a bad thing, because, first of all, it's a religious technology, and grants me access to influence election results a little bit better. That's very tempting. What else do I have that is tempting? Not much, actually. Like, really not much. I don't need any military yet, and like I said, I don't want to make it too quickly. Do you want to start working on another colony ship ASAP is the question. I'm not sure, I need to think about it. How quickly do I want to colonize Gemini? I want to colonize Gemini after this chapter is done. So I still have some time, possibly. In fact, let's deal with this construction first. But this thing is going to take 6 turns anyway. And I do want it to be a thing. So let's go ahead and start working on it. Because 6 turns, that's a fairly long way away. And I do want to be able to colonize this Terran planet. Plus, even if I don't colonize it right away, I will gain access to AI labor. And AI labor is going to be amazing on planets or systems like Telfa. Or however this thing is supposed to be pronounced. I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend that I know. Alright then, let's end the turn, drink some more tea. Oh man, I may have to make this video a little bit shorter than usual because of the headache. Because it's really annoying. And I keep losing track of what I was thinking about. Which I often do, I will admit. But nevertheless, it is just, it's counterproductive. I don't want to scrap this video either. Like, that would be really annoying. And I don't want to just pause it and resume it at a later date, because it again would achieve the same thing that Headache is already achieving, by which I mean confuse me utterly. Anyway, I think I want to go on to Desert Planet because it has the Kusma volcano and is a desert as well, so it's already a fairly productive place to live in, so let's go ahead and do just that. Also, in case I have not mentioned this before, I really like those swirly thingies. Like, I would love for them to be my friends. Unless they will literally kill me. Then maybe not necessarily, but they look adorable. They look like awesome pets. Also, am I willing to spend Hyperion on spinning up this colonization? Yes, I certainly am. That's a very good use of Hyperion in my opinion. And I don't want to wait forever for a colony to be formed. That would be not necessarily the best. Alright. I don't think I can sneak past Menace. That seems like a very unlikely thing to happen. So what I will need to do is send my scout ship to fight us and then have it go straight to Muses. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Like so. So start flying away and hope that there are no pirates in Muses. There probably are pirates in Muses. I think that's unavoidable. But maybe I'll be able to click fast enough to explore curiosities before my ship is destroyed. And the 10. Nice and easy. Alright. Let me just search a little bit, because, oh man, this is so fun! Oh, I needed to do that. Oh man, my head reset to head after I did that, however. That's nasty. Anyway, completed a legendary deed. I now have Adamantium, loads of Adamantium. That's going to be useful. Also, I completed my first chapter right after I colonized Telefa, which is very annoying, but then again, Telefa never really was a science generation-y system to begin with, so that's okay, I suppose. And now, of course, you can read this thing, go ahead and do that. But now, you can read the next part of our faction quest. Again, the same thing rule applies, just pause the video if you want to read it, because I'm not going to read it all out loud, that would just take too much. So we have 3 options, and you probably know what option I'm going to go for. Keep in mind that I'm trying to get the religious party in the government and keep them in the government, which means that bespoke architectural and sensory deprivation rest house are both meaningless for me. What is not meaningless for me is the Annex Jink 2077. And the reason for that being is first of all, I mean, he is actually a member of a religious party, so he helps me achieve the very same cause, in fact. But another thing to keep in mind is that it's a free hero. And the free heroes in Let's Plays 2 are extraordinarily important. You do want to have as many of those as you can. I mean, by what I'm saying, I suppose, is that if you have an opportunity of grabbing a free hero from your faction quest, most likely you want to do that. Now, I will admit, I don't entirely remember, but I think choosing the hero does lock you into a part of your faction quest. I think, but don't quote me on that part. I have to admit, it has been ages and many patches since I went for anything other than a recruit. I used to go for Hero Reunite in the past, but I don't remember if that locked you into the storyline. I'm sorry, the Annex Jink is very important, and the reason for that being is that he's a seeker, which means that your very slow Riftborn fleets that normally take ages to get to anywhere, if led by Annex Jink, they can get everywhere within a matter of moments, even the opposite end of the galaxy. And it's a free hero. So you do want it. And it's an easy thing to do as well, relatively speaking. So yes, confirm, we're grabbing him, no questions asked. Alrighty then, let's see, our hero leveled up, let's go ahead and grab Optimal Operations Expert, because it's an amazing ability. How Electra's going? Could be better, religious don't have as much of a support as I wish they did. So let's see if we can influence that. Let's have a quick look at what's in the people's minds. Ruins, Soul's Curiosity Explored, that's going to last for 2 turns, so I don't think there's anything I can do in my whole system to support Religious Party further than I already have. Which is not actually ideal, I have to say. Also, let's swap you guys out, so I have more food generation, thank you very much. I cannot make the academy in time. Like, I will make it most likely because I do like to have the academy for, again, more heroes. More heroes are always good and fun. So what I'm going to go for instead, I can go for infinite supermarkets for now, even though I am planning to go for the, you know, then again, that would boost the ecologist party, and they already have a lot of support. That boosts pacifists, but takes a while to make, and I don't need the dust right now. Extra population is nice. Academy, I'm very tempted by the academy, I have to say. What I'm also tempted by is another Geist. I think that's what I'm most tempted by. So let's go ahead and downgrade this guy again. Wait a second, I can buy him out now. Can I? I think I can. I'm not sure actually which is cheaper, to be entirely honest, but I bet I can actually make him 110. But what I would rather do... No, I need to save my dust. I actually need to save my dust for influencing election results. So let's not do that. Let's just make him in the most efficient way possible. I mean, with him already having the engines installed. And that's going to be fine. Actually, how long is it to... Yeah, I wish I knew how long it's from Nair to Gemini, because maybe I don't need as many engines as I have right now, but there's no way for me to check without my ships already being there. That's the annoying part. Like, I wish I could just know the distance between systems, instead of having to guess. Right now, I'm just going to install as many engines on Geist as I can and hope for the best. After I'm done with that, I really think I'm gonna go for the Academy. Extra heroes never had. And again, it boosts your religious party, which is nice. Although, I can instead go for the Generic University or something else and make the Academy on this system. But this system has ways to go in terms of development. I think I'd rather have the Academy made here. I think that would make a little bit more sense. Alrighty then, I think everything is fine. No, it's not. Altair needs orders. I'll happily give it orders, by which I will say colonize the Savannah plant, because it has loads of luxuries, and they do want some luxuries, they're nice to have. And overall, Savannah planets themselves, they're pretty useful and all around just good in every way. You can look at them, and the best thing about them, they feel like fertile planets, but they're not. So they're not actually providing me with a malus to approval. Which, again, in the future I hope will not be even important, but for now, it is somewhat important, so that's good to keep in mind. Of course, PANCZASU, they do give you a penalty, but that's fine. I don't necessarily care about that too much. And colonizing these two, I'm not too keen on, because Savannah gives you more industry production. So let's go ahead and we'll start working on that thing, shall we? And a 10. I drink the last of my tea. Alright then. And now, let's... Oh, no. Let's hurry up, hurry... No! I wanted to explore the curiosity. Oh, come on. How many are there? Alright, I'm not gonna retreat, because I'm going to fail retreating anyway from this system. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to tattoo. And, oh, yeah. Did I refit this guy? I did, didn't I? He doesn't have anything installed on him, does he? He's gonna die. I can go for turtle, but I think it's not gonna matter. Oh yeah, they deal energy damage as well. Yeah, he's dead. He's certainly dead. That's sad. I mean, I guess I can get extra 15 dust from it at the very least, which is something. But it's annoying. It's very, very annoying. I was hoping to make pilgrims really love me, but then again, I'm actually gaining a very good amount of influence. I think I might spend it on just making them like me more. Let's go ahead and praise them nice and easy. I have enough influence to allow myself to do that. Alright, let's start working on colonizing Gemini in order to unlock our new hero. And as for everything else, Talify is just growing steadily. Altair is going to take forever. Everything else is already in order, and the elections start. So, the religious party, clearly the underdogs, except for the militarists, which are even more of underdogs, but I don't care about the militarists. Even with primary elections, it's going to be difficult. Alright, so... there are two options I can go for. I can either minimize the losses, because if I vote for the religious party and I fail, then the ecologists will get into government. I don't want ecologists in the government, because they're useless for me. They give me extra benefits depending on the amount of anomalies, which is very few, mind you, and it's mostly centered around food, which I don't really care either about. Something over there in that sentence was weird, but whatever, ignore that. So, what I can do is assume the religious party loses, and vote for scientists to make sure that they are in the government because they have this very nasty, I mean nice, Dirty Hands Act. I don't know why I said nasty, maybe because I saw dirty in the name. So that's one thing I could do. Alternatively, I can just take a leap of faith and just try to get the religious party in the lead, despite the odds not being in their favor. And you know what? I said leap of faith, didn't I? And isn't religion all about faith? Let's go for it. Let's see how it works. I think with primary elections it should work. It's very expensive, but it's not like I have anything else I really want to spend this dust on. So let's see what happens. Please. No! 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 Come on! How did it happen? How did they get no votes? Like no votes at all. How did the militarists... Wait a second. Did I click on militarists? They had no support. They had no support at all. They didn't have any support in any of the... Wait, what happened? I might reload the save file because I feel like something is wrong. Like, if the religious party lost to, like, for instance, ecologists and scientists, I would get that. Even the pacifists, maybe, I would get that as well. Sure. But the militarist part is really weird. Alright, yeah, okay. That's awful. That's the worst thing that could have possibly happened. But what? Why did it happen? Militarists have no support, and this is the supposedly supported militarists. This system as... What? Nah. I want to reload just to see what happens. So, I'll be right back in a moment. Alright, so I did do the reload thing, and again, that was mostly just to test things out because I just flat out don't get why militaries were suddenly in the lead. Sure, I was attacked, but the support for them was so minuscule that just didn't seem right. It seems like there was a bug or error somewhere because it made no sense. So I want to see if this is going to repeat again. But I will admit, I was trying to explore some curiosities and I managed to actually do that. And I've discovered microfactories, which is very nice. I'm still going to lose this guy, of course. That's not going to change. I wonder if I retreat, if this is going to change anything. It's only 15 dust as well. Let's retreat, out of curiosity. Let's see if that allows the militarists not to be in the lead. Like, it shouldn't change anything. And also I got this quest when I explored the curiosity, which is... the worst thing ever. I will gain less science, and this will increase the science at the... At least that would make sense, right? I don't want to okay, let's go ahead and do that. It's going to lower my science income, and this will increase the scientist party power, which I hate. But it's better than having... Then again, the militarists shouldn't gain any lead from this, but just because I'm testing things out, I'm going to go for investigate instead. And let's see what happens during the elections, because what happened before was just flat out weird. Alright, so let's again take a leap of faith. Things are just the way they were, nothing really changed. We did look at the population's biases, and they don't support militarists at all. This time I'm going to go just for the official support. Maybe there was something bugged with primary elections. Which I don't know what... Again, I just don't get it. Okay, voting for leaders, making sure I clicked right, and let's see what happens. Alright, okay. That certainly seems like a bug. Because right now I was able to save money, give a slower increase, I mean, smaller, not slower, smaller increase to the boost that the religious party got. And I also got an event which just flat out increased the chances of the scientific party, and it got no votes. And this all makes sense somewhat, because ecologists were the most supported outside of industrialists, and I voted for religious myself, which gave them a lot of support, and they were already somewhat supported. So this result makes sense. The previous one didn't. I don't know why suddenly militaries were in the lead. I think it must have been a bug of some kind. Or some kind of system mechanic I just am flat out unaware of. That's the only other thing I can think of, because that was just flat out plain weird. Or it was because I didn't run away from the encounter, but then again, that still doesn't make sense. I don't know what happened there. If you are going to call me a safe scammer right now, feel free to. I'll ignore that, because I don't feel that it was a safe scamming thing, because I'm wholeheartedly certain that what happened in the previous elections that are now no longer canon was just a bag of some kind. Like, if you think that it wasn't, I'm eager to read your comments, because maybe there was an explanation for Militus suddenly being the lead, but after elections we checked the people's preferences. Militus was still still the small support. I don't get that. Anyway, this video has been about 40 minutes already. My headache is still there, and it's long enough anyway, so I'm just call it a day now, with this mystery to solve. So ladies and gentlemen, it was PANCZASU, also known as the Mighty Mix Spammer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you online.